Hello, and thank you very much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to learn more about Astonishing Travel's upcoming 2024 trip of a lifetime in partnership with Collette to the wonderful country here of Italy, the best of Italy here, October 20th to October 31st, 2024, being whisked away into the beauty, the history of Italy, journeying through Venice, Florence, Rome, coming along and embracing the history, culture, art, and romance of this incredible country. My name is Kevin Ferguson. I'm with Collette Vacations. I want to also introduce Heidi from Astonishing Travel to say a little bit more. Heidi, the floor is yours.
I just wanted to welcome everyone. And if you have any other questions at the end, feel free to reach out to me. My information will be at the end. And yeah, just sit back, relax, and just start daydreaming about Italy. Thank you so much, Kevin, for leading us here tonight. And thanks everyone for joining.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much here. So, yes, we're going to be encompassing the three major art cities Venice, Florence, Rome. Of course, here being combined with a countryside break in the Romagna wine producing region here, allowing us to get outside of the concrete jungle, so to speak, and see some of the countryside here as well. This is a small group tour, maximum of 24 travelers on this trip. So, not too big, not too small, but just like Goldilocks and the Bears, just right. Weather-wise, I'll give you some El Roker average temperatures here as well on this. And this gets back before the 2024 elections here as well. So if you want to escape the 57th and 58th debate prior to, go ahead. This is a good time to get away, but you'll be back in time here as well for that. But yes, Kevin Ferguson, business development manager, all of upstate New York for Collette, one of the 60 different business development managers that cover Collette's territories throughout the United States, as well as Canada and Australia. Have been proudly working for the company for nearly 17 years, both as a tour manager out in the road in the thick of it all, as well as on our sales force. And people have been asking me, Kevin, when's the best time to go here or there? And really, after the last 3+ years of missed memories, experiences, and opportunities, the best time to travel is while you can. And one of those destinations here is Italy. It comes up all the time of the kind of the quintessential places on that. So we'll be talking about that more in specific in just a second. Now, Collette, we're the longest running company tour operator in North America, 106 years young. We do 180 different tours, all 7 continents, nearly 60 different countries. And as earlier mentioned here, Italy is one of those top destinations here year over year. We have about a dozen different itineraries here. And this one is different from the cookie cutter classic 3 city tours because of what we're experiencing and how we're doing it here as well. Now, Collette, we even sponsor Wheel of Fortune a couple times a year. So if it's good enough for Pat and Vanna, probably good enough here for you as well. And when it comes to guided travel, you're not going to have to worry about a thing. You have a tour manager who's with you the entire time in the destination. We're going to have some expert local guides sprinkled throughout here as well, really ticking off a lot of the boxes there highlight wise on this in terms of those cultural and culinary experiences here as well, and different modes of transportation. And really, this tour here, this explorations, this small group tour, really is for the culturally curious as well. So we're going to be delving deeper into Italy when we tour and experience it here as well. And that really is our philosophy on this. We're not starting and ending at the same airport, meaning that we're not having to do backtracking a lot of the time here as well. We're not spending this trip living out of a suitcase, multiple night stays through as well. And again, as a company that's been around for over a century, it is important to keep things fresh, keep things going and moving here as well. Knowing that your financial investment in travel is safe is ever important, especially over these last few unprecedented years here. We've given back nearly $190 million full money back refunds when we as an operator were not able to operate during the pandemic. Once things have opened back up and the world is now open, we still have our industry leading cancel for any reason insurance. And knowing that literally to the day prior, if you have to cancel for any reason, full money back refund, less the insurance here as well. So that's very important. Not a coupon, not a travel credit, not a future voucher, but again, having that those finances back during times when you need it is ever important. And so let's get right into this journey here as well. Again, the best of Italy, October 20th to October 31st here, 2024. And I'm going to compare this out of a major metropolitan city here, and that's New York City. Okay, I was just in New York this past weekend here and drove by Little Italy, and it just kind of said, hey, well, why don't we kind of compare it? So, on average, October 20th in New York City, average temperature is 52 and 62. Landing in Rome on October 21st, the average temperature in Venice, Italy, not Rome, excuse me, in Venice is 52 and 62. It's literally the same exact temperature. In Florence and Venice, appropriately, there we're averaging temperatures from the low to mid 50s to 62, 65. So this is really perfect travel. Not too hot, not too cold, but like Goldilocks and the Bears, just right here. So, how big is Italy compared to the United States? Well, again, this is a country that people will go back to over and over and over again, not only because of roots, but maybe because of the gastronomy, the culinary aspect to it here as well. But again, this is a destination that in terms of comparison to us in the United States, a lot smaller on this. Now, this being said here as well, how this tour flows, it is going to be flying into Venice, 2 night stay in Venice, and I'll actually highlight some of those hotels in this presentation here. As well, from there, we will be making our way down via motor coach to uh, the countryside here of the Romagna region here with a 3 night stay. From there, 2 nights in Florence, and then from 2 nights in Florence, finalizing out with a 3 night stay in Rome to cap it all. Now, those arrows to the left of days 4 to 6, as well as 9 to 11, that means it's a choice on tour. So you can do one thing, your traveling companion can do the other. Great, go back, compare notes. You're not paying an extra dime for doing so as well. Now, when it comes to tour activity level, we have a level 1 to 4, and where 1 is the lightest, number 4 is the more robust, and this one is a tour level of 3. What that means here is that this is an active tour. Um, this is a destination that I always just want to set the proper expectations, knowing that, again, you're an on the go traveler. You don't want to miss a thing. So, again, walking, standing for longer periods of time is not a big deal. And in fact, all of our Italy tours are at least a level 3 because of things like uneven walkways, those cobblestones. Maybe it's different modes of transportation. On this trip, we have a included gondola ride here in Venice. Um, there'll be some longer days balanced with some free time to recharge or set out on your own adventure. And in Italy, again, some of the most unique sightseeing experiences have to be done in areas where motor coaches cannot go just based on size. So within especially the historic areas of Venice or Ravenna or in San Marino, Florence, and Rome. So we recommend that, again, you should be able to walk. So if you are requiring a walker or a wheelchair to get around, this might not be the most suitable destination here for you. Agility is required for boarding those gondola boats there, those pontoon boats here as well. I don't mean to scare you away, but again, just want to set those proper expectations here as well. All right. So what we'll do here is that you'll be making your way from the United States, Canada, or wherever you're watching this here, over to Venice, Italy here. And the rate that is included on this is based on air out of New York. Now, you can reach out here to Heidi as well at Astonishing Travel if you are going to be flying out of an alternative air gateway. And what she'll be able to do is quote that air price for you. And so again, you're not just confined to flying out of JFK or Newark or wherever there as well. All right, so here we are. Let's get right into this amazing journey, as we mentioned here, and that is going to be, of course, getting into Venice, Italy here, this enchanting island city here, 117 tiny islands surrounded by a lattice work of 150 canals, 400 bridges here. And this evening, we're going to be visiting and starting our trip off, meeting with fellow travelers here for a welcome dinner. Now, again, I want to point this out. Where we are staying right in Venice proper here. So this is a shot from drone way up high and above. The arrow that is yellow is going to be pointing out to the Rialto Bridge. The one that is blue is going to be pointing out here to the St. Mark's Square area here as well. And our hotel location on this, it is just steps away from that yellow arrow from the Rialto Bridge, and it's under a 10-minute walk to St. Mark's Square itself. Now, again, our next day here, we're going to explore the traditional Venetian craftsmanship behind one of the city's most important symbols here, and that is, again, the gondola. Now, we're going to be visiting a local oar making workshop. And again, this is one of only about 5 or 6 still active here in the city of Venice. And then we're going to join a local guide for a walking tour of Venice's most iconic sites here as well. We'll pause for the perfect view over the Bridge of Sighs, taking St. Mark's Square, adorned with marble palaces and gilded basilicas and more. And we'll travel by boat to Marino Island here as well. Again, having a glass blowing demonstration. Again, this craft has been in the region for centuries here. And this evening, we will glide along the canals during a gondola ride before delving into Venice's classical music heritage as we enjoy a live performance of the Four Seasons by Vivaldi, again, composed by a great Venetian composer there. And it's one thing I want to point out is this is included here as well on this. This is something that it is not an option. It is something that is included. And that makes it unique to Collette here as well. Again, this will be done in a small Venetian church. Again, a unique feature here. It's not a private performance, but again, just something really special. Now, of course, on occasion, that orchestra is not going to be able to attend, but we will advise if there's any type of a tour change or alteration there. Now, after our couple nights in Venice, we will make our way and say ciao from that region here of Veneto and making our way here down towards the Romagna region here. It's famous for its Epicurean lifestyle here. And along the way, we'll visit the Po Delta. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. UNESCO meaning the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. And since ancient times, this delta here has been the border between Venice and the Ravenna region here. Again, once 2 independent states. And that's being said is that when you speak to somebody who is an Italian American, they'll usually say, hey, I might not be just Italian, but I'm Sicilian. My family's from Naples or Napoli or Bari. And that's the thing is that we have thousands of years of history, but this really only became a unified nation right around the early 1860s, about the time that we were in the United States involved in the U.S. Civil War. Now, back to the Po region here. These wetlands are going to give us a glimpse into what Venice and Ravenna looked like here from ancient times with the Roman settlers here that were making their way up from the south. We'll be taking in the tranquil scenery before stopping for lunch at a local restaurant. We'll be learning about the lives of fishermen and farmers whose lives have been changed very little over the last 1,000+ years and much more. Now, that tour manager that we had in Venice is going to continue on with us all the way down to Rome here as well. So it's not just, picking up our next guide. It's a continuation, nice fluid approach there. And in the afternoon, we'll continue to our hotel nestled amongst the vineyards here of the Romagna countryside here, settling in for a 3-night stay. And I chose this time of year because you do want to go to an area that's known for vineyards and wines during harvest time. That's when we're going to be there. We're going to be there in late October here as well. Where we're going to be staying here is a beautiful venue, and this is called the Borgo Conde Wine Resort. Sign me up for that. Under 40 rooms here. This wine estate here, it just has a beautiful kind of panoramic position right there in the countryside with its rolling hills, its vineyards, its on-site spa. And while the hotel has all the comforts of a new build, it really is just kind of shaped like an old and quaint Italian village. And so again, with that idyllic countryside feel, having a 3-night break, the vacation in the vacation, so to speak, allows us to, really experience some of the culture and things that much more. So we'll have a cooking lesson. We will have a wine pairing dinner. We'll have a tour of the winery. We'll have much more as well on this for us there. And that's what we have our next day, is a choice on how we want to experience. You could do one thing. Again, your traveling companion can do the other. Great. Go back, compare notes. You're not paying an extra dime for doing so. So one of those here is, again, a day here at the resort, just relaxing, basking in the bucolic landscape here of our resort, pampering yourself maybe with an organic wine-infused mud treatment and more. Or the other option here is going to do a tour of Ravenna here. And this is, again, a guided walking tour through this historic city, again, a UNESCO World Heritage city here. And again, during the the last days of Roman Empire here, this actually served as a center of power due to its strategic position here. The city's rulers, the Byzantines, the Goths, they adorned it with dazzling mosaics, as we can see right here on the shot here as well. And this is a guided walking tour. So again, you're not just walking around with the Rick Steves or the Frommer's book, or trying to find something on Google going, what is this all about? But you're getting that brain candy and that knowledge right there about some of the city's most illustrious monuments and that much more. No matter how we spend the day there, this evening we're going to all come together. We'll join with a local chef here for a hands-on cooking class centered on Romagna's most typical pasta dishes here, with colorful names such as Gargonelli, as well as Strozzapreti, which literally translates here as priest stranglers, believe it or not, and enjoying the results of your work here for dinner as well on this. Now, our next day here, we will grab our passports here and journey to the landlocked Republic of San Marino. This is actually the fifth smallest country here on the planet. And yes, again, bring your passport if you want to have it stamped with the country's entry visa here on this. And this is, again, perched atop Mount Titano, the old town of San Marino. It's going to give us the sweeping views over the Adriatic with its gentle rolling hills, its Romagna countryside, and much more. Here we'll be able to explore the old town with its intricate systems of fortification towers, its walls, its gates, bastions during our time at leisure. And in the evening, we'll wrap up our stay here in the countryside, again, back at our hotel there with a wine pairing dinner at that wine resort. What an awesome way to spend the day. Now, our next day, we'll travel to the Emilia region here. Again, this is the foodie haven, and here we'll meet students and teachers at a vocational high school, for an impact moment that's dedicated to the culinary arts and agriculture here. And again, this is where Italy's future chefs, its farmers, they learn how to make Parmigiano Reggiano, which again is different from Parmesan cheese, I should mention, according to its traditional codes. And this dates back to the 1300s. Now, the students here, they'll also try their hands at balsamic vinegar, its generational processes, anywhere taking from 12 to 25 years here to make. We'll have a farm-to-table light lunch prepared by these culinary students, getting those ingredients here from the school's farm. And again, that's just a neat experience to be able to get really into the culture, not to have this kind of Fuji Kodak moment where you're just taking the picture, getting back on and going to the next spot, but really, again, understanding and appreciating the culture. Now, our next thing here, what we will be doing here is we'll be making our way here to the city of Florence. Again, this city is basically the cradle of the Renaissance here as well. It's going to be our home for the next couple nights here. And I should mention here, this is a picture of the Arno River, and this is the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, so to speak, here as well. Our next day, we'll meet with a local expert for a walking tour here of the city that, again, it's a work of art all to its own. And it's believed to be about where 2/3 of the world's art is found right here in this city of just under 400,000 people. Now, our tour manager is going to highlight the Piazza del Duomo, which is what we see right here, the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, as well as the baptistry. And we'll also have magnificent views here of the Piazza della Signoria. And again, this is a old palace here, right around the Palazzo Vecchio region here. It's known as the old palace because the new palace is just right across the river. Now, where are we staying in Florence? Well, we're about a 2 minutes walk from the cathedral that I'm just showing you right here, and about a 3-minute walk here from the Signoria Square. So we have dozens of shops and restaurants just outside of the hotel. Again, we're going to be immersed right here in the Renaissance with its architecture, its charm, and much, much more. Now, the remainder of our days can be at ours to enjoy and explore Florence's cultural riches independently. Our tour manager, local guide would be options, ideas, where to go, what to see, what to do. We just don't want you to be sitting in your room watching CNN or Fox News International wondering what's going on back home. Who cares? That's why you left anyways. And so whether it's going to maybe a museum or a gallery or maybe just picking up a gelato, the day is for yours to enjoy here as well. Now, our next day here, we will begin our morning by traversing southern Tuscany here in the ancient land of the Etruscans. And this mysterious civilization predated the Romans who assimilated them, raised most of their history or their way of life. And even though many of the early kings of Rome were Etruscans themselves, not too much is known about them here. But what we'll do here is with our guide, we'll have a walking tour here of Chiusi. And this was one of the parts here of the Etruscan Dodecapolis, which was one of the old cities here. We'll be able to explore the town's underground water systems, which has so many twists and turns that it was nicknamed the Labyrinth of King Porsenna. Now, that being said, this is why I mentioned this activity level. So, yeah, if you do get claustrophobic, you've got mobility issues. Hey, this is something just to be aware of here as well. Again, we'll also be visiting the small archaeological museum that houses some of the most interesting artifacts that archaeologists have found in the surrounding hills and much more. Now, just to show where we've been and now where we're going and continuing on. So again, we started in Venice, made our way down the Po, and then of course here into the Romagna countryside. Again, that one of those options are getting up to Ravenna. Of course, our day trip out to San Marino here, and then into the Emilia section that I just mentioned here, known for its Parmigiano Reggiano, and on to now our time in Florence. We finish up Florence, and now we're heading our way down to Rome, the Via Chiusi, which I just mentioned here. And we get to Rome, again, the capital of the fantastic country here of Italy. And this is, again, another spot where we do not skimp out on our hotels. And as a company, we're not the cheapest, we're not the most expensive, but when it comes to quality and value, that's what you want. That's what you definitely get here with us as well. And where we are is just about a 5-minute walk from the Piazza Navona, or the Navona Square, and the Trastevere, which is the bohemian kind of foodie section here of town. And really, this location of our hotel is everything that you dream of from watching the classic film Roman Holiday. Again, the cobblestone streets, the ivy-clad palaces, those wrought iron lamps, and the farmer's market that's just around the corner. You kind of live in this constant expectation of Audrey Hepburn, rolling in on a vintage Vespa with Gregory Peck here in tow. And, I just want to kind of keep it on that picture right here, because that's what you see when you're driving and getting into the city. It's just like driving through a historical museum all into itself. Now, our next day here, we'll have a choice of how we want to experience this city, whether it's uncovering Rome on a walking tour here, and seeing the Renaissance and the Baroque masterpieces, or taking a panoramic tour here of Rome, focusing on the catacombs and the Dark Age times here. Now, on that walking tour here, we'll be getting from everything from the Parthenon to Caravaggio's virtuoso paintings and the dramatic oval-shaped Piazza Navona, which I mentioned to you that we're just a stone's throw away. And with our expert local guide unveiling how the popes redesigned and beautified this eternal city during the Renaissance and Baroque periods. Or on a panoramic tour by a motor coach here, touring the Aventine Hill and the catacombs located all along the ancient Appian Way. And here, our expert guide is going to trace the vestiges of the Roman Empire, focusing on the transitions from paganism to Christianity and much more. And just again, whatever way you want to experience it, you've got it right there. Have you noticed already that there's not 16 or 17 optional tours that you have to pay for? This is not a cruise of, this is a land cruise in a sense with these multiple night stays, but you're not paying for those extra options out of pockets here and stuff like that. And that being said, our next day here, you will have a free day here in this eternal city here, again, with basically about 4,000 years of history plus, whether it's going through the Borghese Gardens here for a view of the city skylines, or just enjoying some time. We will have one optional tour I do want to mention here on this. We keep it as an option because, again, it's one thing if people have been there or religious or not. I will tell you this is that the architecture, the history, the craftsmanship, and that much more of the Vatican's is unprecedented. This is an option that is done during free time. You're not missing out in lieu of doing anything else. It goes for $99 per person. It does need to be signed up in advance. And the reason why is that we need to get those tickets done usually at about 120 to 150 days prior. So this is not something that you can just roll up to Italy and go, hey, can I do the Vatican now? Because we will have had to get those tickets well in advance. It goes for 99 per person on this, and that's going to include, of course, a few things. One, we're going to have an expert local guide on a 3-hour in-depth tour to this vast collection here. Again, seeing not only just the priceless artifacts here of what's within the Sistine Chapel, but also things from ancient Egypt, Etruscan Italy here, cultures around the world that are preserved, and the tapestries, the galleries, the rooms, and much more. We will do a lot of this touring here, either in talking commentary wise from outside of the building, because, for example, within the Sistine Chapel, nobody is able to give any commentary. So this is something where it's great that you are going to be able to learn about these rooms that we go into before we even walk in. And so you've got that time to take those pictures, focus, and enjoy here as well. Now, of course, as I mentioned, we'll get to places like the Gallery of Maps, the Gallery of Tapestries here, seeing these ceiling frescoes here that Michelangelo took 4+ years to complete. Again, the brilliant Last Judgment here. And it is just a very, very impressive spot. And there's places where you can just sit down and look up. And when I was there in 2018, I spent about 20 minutes just admiring all the work that's done here as well. So again, this is an option, and again, one that's going to be available there for you to register for in advance through Astonishing Travel if you choose to partake in this amazing journey. Now, again, all together, whether you had your free day to enjoy, do whatever, or you took that option to the Vatican here, we'll gather as a group all together this evening, toasting the end of our Italian adventure here on a food tour here in that Bohemian district called the Trastevere. Again, a stone's throw away from where we are. And this is a small group tour. As I said, 24 people maximum on this trip. So by this time, people that were strangers have truly become friends. And again, just a wonderful way to cap for this whole trip in its essence here. And so we hope that you join us on this amazing journey. And as a reminder here, included experiences on the best of Italy start from, or I should say, just a mention as a start here, from the oar making workshop in Venice to experiencing a performance of Vivaldi's Four Seasons here in the city that he lived in, exploring the wetlands of Po Delta, journeying to the wine-producing Romagna countryside for a 3-night stay in a wine resort, having a day whether to just enjoy Romagna and Ravenna or to just kind of have a spa day at the hotel if you want. Visiting San Marino, the Republic, again, this enclave state of Italy, the 5th smallest on earth, taking or trying our own hand at culinary classics before settling down for dinner there back at the resort, a walking tour of Florence, the masterpieces of Rome, whether it's experiencing the catacombs or seeing some of those romantic Renaissance or Baroque works there. That free day of leisure gives a little bit of everything for everyone on this amazing journey. So again, personalization on this. Well, I mentioned we do have one optional tour that is available. If you're looking at coming in day early or spending extra time, reach out, let Heidi know. We'll see what we do have available based on that. It is limited there. We do also have elite airfare that is included on this, and this is fully refundable as well on this. So again, if you're interested in wanting to upgrade, we do have a premium economy rate that is an additional $15.90 per person, or fully refundable business class, $39.90 additional on that. And that's, I want to mention that this is fully refundable rate. So yeah, you might go, wow, it sounds like a lot, but to get a fully refundable business class ticket, that's usually how it runs here as well. Now, back to what I want to point out, the insurance. You'd be crazy not to have insurance in this day and age. I wouldn't drive my car without car insurance. Sure as heck wouldn't travel without travel insurance. And again, our insurance at Collette is a full refund for any reason, literally to the day prior, no questions asked. While on tour, medical assistance, evacuation, baggage loss, delay, we got you covered there. Up until the 21st of March, if you have to cancel for any reason, you're going to get everything back, including the insurance. From the 22nd of March to the day prior, you get everything back minus the insurance, but that's again why you have the insurance. We do have our passport club, which is a way to thank our past loyal travelers here. If you've traveled with us 3+ tours over the last 20 years, you might already be able to get level 2 status on this. We'll give you a little bit extra savings. If you've traveled with us in the last 2 years, so from basically October of 2022 to October of 2024, you may be able to earn some extra savings here with our loyalty program, between 3 to 5% off on land. We do all the number crunching for you. Basically, in short, the more that you've spent in the past, the more that you save on this future trip here as well. Now, you will need a passport when you do this trips here. So when you do register, you want to make sure that your name is spelled out correctly. If your middle name is fully out there or just the initial, you want to make sure to dot the I's and cross the T's there respectively on this. If your passport is due to expire by the spring of 2025, this might be a good time to go and get that updated here in late 2023, early 2024, because the majority of people, when they start doing their passport renewal, is during January, February, and March. And so we know how there's lag times, so we don't want you to be behind the 8 ball there. You can find out more about this trip itself at our trip dedicated webpage, which is at gateway.gocollette.com/link/122-6013. Note there's no www in there. The QR code on the right will actually bring you right up to that page here as well. And there even is a button there that says sign up now. So if you want to do this from the ease and comfort of your own home, you could do that. Of course, you can also reach out to Heidi at Something Travel. Again, she is the moderator here of the Collette Facebook page there for Collette past travelers that she started up, and over 5,500 travelers on this at this time. Amazing job. But scrolling down under highlights, it even has the know before you go, the travel tips, and much more right there. But let's say you click that green button, that sign up now button. It's very turnkey. It'll ask you if you have any dietary restrictions, if you're celebrating anything while on tour, all that. And again, it goes right through all the boxes. I will tell you is that if you do the online version, I would strongly suggest giving Heidi a heads up that you booked online through the portal here, this page, and she'll get the heads up usually in about a day or 2 business day later. So just again, make sure that there's no stone left unturned. All right, here's the breakdown on everything. The deposit is $698. At the time of deposit is when they cancel for any reason insurance is due, which is $449. That's why we had that weird number of $1147 right there on the deposit. Again, deposits are due by the 21st of March. And the reason why we're doing this presentation here now in late December is that the majority of people will make up their mind in January, February, and March with where they want to go. This will sell out, and we don't want you to be on a wait list or a standby there. Final payment, you've got time to budget, plan, prepare. It's not due until the 21st of August. And this, again, is based on airfare out of New York. Again, for alternative air gateways, whether you're watching this from San Francisco or San Jose or San Antonio or wherever else that starts with the letter S, Syracuse, I guess, we can adjust the rate accordingly based on your air gateway. Again, we'll include the air taxes, the hotels, the porterage, nearly 12.5 meals, of course, that tour manager. What's not included? Any tips to the driver, guide, local guide. Any meals that are on your own, and any retail therapy that you choose to partake in. Shopping, that's what that is. But the rate there per person, $61.99 per person, double occupancy. We do have a solo traveler's rate. It's $1,100 higher, $72.99. But again, very limited amount of single rooms, only a couple on this trip. With that insurance, that $61.99, that $449 number on that, fast math, that is going to be $66.48. And again, solo traveler, $77.48 there. Again, for other air gateways, reach out to Heidi at Astonishing Travel, 845-519-0819. Again, 845-519-0819. And again, you know that voice in your head that's telling you to travel? Simply put, listen to it. 10 years from now, you'll be so glad that you did. The best time to travel is while you can. So what are you waiting for? Again, reach out to Heidi at Astonishing Travel or Heidi at astonishingtravel.com, 845-519-0819. Or again, find out more at our trip dedicated web link, gateway.gocollette.com/link/1226013. On behalf of all of us here at Collette and Astonishing Travel, tante grazie, thank you so much. We look forward to having you travel with us on the best of Italy, October 20th to October 31st, 2024. Ciao for now.